Today's Daily Dose of Math is about two aquarium problems. We have the shark tank, which is a rectangular prism, also known as a right prism. We know its volume is 288,000 liters. It's 8 meters wide by 3 meters high, and we're being asked how long is it. It's a straightforward small problem that involves a volume formula. We also have the Guppy Tank, which holds 12 liters. It's 20 centimeters long by 20 centimeters high. This time we're being asked for the width. Why would I have to make a video about these small, straightforward problems? Because when I watch my students' performance on exam questions, sometimes things go wrong and an exam question gets left blank, or the student goes off in the wrong direction early on in the question and does poorly. And I ask myself, well, why did this happen? I know the student knew how to do all of the techniques that they needed for that exam question. And I'm trying to think about what's gone wrong. And one thing that can go wrong is the fact that we have a mixture of liters and meters. These don't work together in the same formula unless you do a conversion. And that could be what's going wrong, so we're going to practice it a little bit with these questions. Another thing is the fact that in both of these cases we've been given the volume. We're doing a volume formula, but we're doing it backwards, meaning we know the volume and we're looking for one of the dimensions, and that happens in both of these questions. So let's do a couple of problems to practice these things. Starting with the shark tank, we know it's a right prism, and we know the volume formula for the right prism. Volume equals length times width times height. But we do not want to be mixing in this formula liters and meters, so it's time to do a conversion. 288,000 liters is equal to 288 million milliliters, because there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter. This is very useful because the conversion between milliliters and centimeters cubed is 1-to-1. 288 million milliliters is equal to 288 million centimeters cubed. But I don't have centimeters here, so I want to do yet another conversion. I want to convert this into meters cubed. That will be useful to me. How many centimeters cubed are in a meter cubed? 1 million. So 288 million centimeters cubed is equal to 288 meters cubed. This is more helpful to me right now because the width and the height that I know are in meters. Now I can get into my formula, and I'm replacing the V with the volume 288. The length is my unknown. The width is 8, and the height is 3. Now we can simplify inside our formula. 8 times 3 is 24, so we have 24L equals 288. If we divide both sides by 24, these cancel, and our length is equal to 288 divided by 24, which is 12. The length is 12 meters. And we have solved our problem. Now the conversion factor, I did it in 3 stages. Sometimes students will do this faster. To be able to convert directly from liters to meters cubed is possible. I like showing it this way because this way I don't need to go to a conversion table. I'm able to do this in my head because I remember certain things. I remember that there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter. That allows me to do this first step. I remember that it's a 1-to-1 conversion between milliliters and centimeters cubed. That's the second step. And then I remember that there are 1 million centimeters cubed in a meter cubed, which allows the third step to happen. Do the conversion the way you like to, Use information that's printed on the exam for you if you can. Use information you've put on your memory aid if you have one. But I like not having to rely on either of those things. Then the formula is very straightforward, and in fact the whole problem is very straightforward. So think about what happened to that student who would have left it blank or gone off in the wrong direction. Is the student being intimidated by this conversion? Is the student being intimidated by the fact that the volume formula is being done backwards, meaning that we're looking for a dimension and we know the volume? Now let's look at example B. I'll quickly do some erasing. Okay, now the Guppy Tank, we're doing the same situation. We have to do a conversion. We're using the same formula. The Guppy Tank is also a rectangular prism. So we need to convert between liters, and this time I want centimeters cubed, not meters cubed, because the dimensions I've been given are in centimeters. So the first thing I'm doing is saying 12 liters is equal to 12,000 milliliters. 12,000 milliliters is equal to 12,000 centimeters cubed, and this time I'm going to stop there. I don't want meters cubed. 12,000 centimeters cubed is convenient to plug into the formula. Again, it's a volume, so the V is being replaced with 12,000. The length we know, it's 20 centimeters. The width is our unknown this time, and the height is also 20 centimeters. At this point, it's quite straightforward to do the calculations necessary to finish the problem. We're doing 20 times 20 first, and that's giving us 400. So we have 12,000 equals 400 W. We divide both sides by 400. These cancel. Our W is isolated and is equal to 30. What's the unit of measure? It's centimeters. The width is 30 centimeters. I finished the problem. So do not be intimidated by a problem where you have to convert between liters and meters or between liters and centimeters. Do your conversion factors and then plug the values into the formula. And do not be intimidated by a problem where they give you the volume and they're asking for one of the dimensions. It's still the same formula. We just have to use algebra to simplify once we have plugged in our values. That is today's Daily Dose of Math. Please like, subscribe, and share.